In each generation, there is always a team which stands out from the rest. For example, for the current generation, that team is Team Konohamaru. From the previous generation, it was Team Kakashi, followed by Team Minato, Team Hiruzen, and Team Tobirama. We can see that almost every team is somehow connected to each other, and the teams which lack connection are Team Hiruzen and Team Minato. However, this gap can be filled with Team Jiraiya, which was a Genin team of the Hidden Leaf, led by Jiraiya. We know very little about this team, and this is why today I want to talk about it. But before starting, I want to ask you all to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more. I hope all of you have a great day. Let's start the video. In Naruto chapter 122, before Hiruzen dies, we can see a little flashback of him which shows us important moments of his life, as well as prominent teams from the Hidden Leaf like Team Tobirama, Team Hiruzen, Team Minato, and Team Kakashi. However, the one which seems the most interesting for me is Team Jiraiya, which was a Genin team of Konohagakure led by Jiraiya at some point after he left Nagato, Konan, and Yahiko and returned to the Hidden Leaf. Its only known member is Minato Namikaze, whom Jiraiya took special interest in on the belief that he could be the child of prophecy. Minato would later become the 4th Hokage. The names of the other two members, as well as their statuses, are unknown. The only time a member of this team, except Minato, appeared beside Hiruzen Sarutobi's flashback was in Naruto chapter 498, in a flashback of Kushina Uzumaki's, where Minato's black-haired teammate can be seen sitting behind him at the academy. It is such a shame that we never got to know at least the names of these characters. I'm pretty sure they'd be very skilled ninjas because we all know how skilled Minato was. He was the user of perfect Sage Mode, creator of the Rasengan, and on top of that he was a natural prodigy, and we all remember how the 3rd Hokage, Hiruzen Sarutobi, would spend quite a bit of time when it came to making teams and selecting the most suitable and best teachers for the Genin. So from that alone, we can assume that these guys had some sort of talent, otherwise there's no way they would be able to keep up with Minato or even Jiraiya's teachings, which, from Naruto, we know are very harsh and difficult. Besides that, we all know how strong all the known students of Jiraiya are. Minato, Naruto, Konan, Yahiko, and Nagato, all of them were Kage-level ninjas and became the leaders of their respective villages. So because of that, I doubt Hiruzen would allow Jiraiya to teach and train students if neither of them had faith in or displayed at least a little talent. Therefore, why would these mysterious two be different? An option could be that both of them were killed when they were very young, maybe because of an unknown conflict. However, I honestly doubt either Minato or Jiraiya would allow this to happen that easily. If they ever died, I think it would be in the 3rd Great Ninja World War. The reason why I assume they died is that as students of Jiraiya, by the time Naruto's story had begun, they would have been quite strong and it would have been very difficult to keep them out of the picture, because they would have come in handy several times when the Hidden Leaf was attacked by enemy forces. However, they were just never seen. I also think they may have wanted to have an influence in helping to raise their late friend's child, which they obviously did not, and the death of them would explain their absence very well. But whether they passed away or not, their names of these characters should have been mentioned at least once in the series or in the databook. A lot of people theorize that we have already seen these characters and that these people are Mikoto Uchiha and Teuchi Ichiraku. However, I don't think this makes sense if we compare their ages. There's a 7-year difference between Teuchi and Minato. In the databook, there wasn't any mention of him being a ninja in the past, and the only thing we know is that 34 years before the 4th Shinobi World War, which makes him 14 years old, he devoted his life to making ramen. So based on that, I really doubt that he was a member of Team Jiraiya. And about the middle one, people think that it could be Mikoto because in Itachi Shinden, Book of Bright Light, it was written that she was one of the closest friends of Kushina Uzumaki, and after the Nine Tails attack, Mikoto went to the hospital to check on Kushina's newborn son, Naruto. Given her friend's untimely death, Mikoto being the teammate of Kushina's husband would explain their close friendship very well, but it is the same case as with Teuchi. Mikoto is older than Minato. When we first see her in one of the flashbacks in the original series, she was stated to be 35 years old. 7 years have gone by since Obito attacked the village. Minato would be 31st at the time of the Uchiha massacre. There is at least a 4-year difference between them. It could be more. We don't even know if the member is a girl. Some say it must be a female because of how most, but not all, teams were constructed. But to me, he looks like a dude, even more so in the anime. We have Team Choza and Hayate Ibiki's unknown team. They each had 3 male members, so Minato's team member could very well be a male. And before someone comes and mentions Fugaku, he is 5 years older than Mikoto, who is already 4 years older than Minato, so that's just impossible. A lot of people think that Hiruzen's flashback was not the only time this team had appeared in the series, and we have already seen the members of Team Jiraiya grown up in Naruto Shippuden, the movie The Lost Tower, where Minato Namikaze was assigned to a team along with Choza Akimichi and Shibi Aburame to intervene in the crisis in Roran. This could be true since one of the members of Team Jiraiya really looks like an Akimichi clan member, since he seems to have the trademark of the Akimichi clan, squinting eyes that several other Akimichi have. And besides that, the biggest hint is that he is the same age as Minato Namikaze. So due to all of these, him being the member of Team Jiraiya doesn't look that far-fetched. However, the problem with that is that Choza is already a member of Inoshika Cho, and there is no way he would be a member of Team Jiraiya. In the end, nothing is known about him. One of the members apparently sat behind Minato in the academy, but that's about it. I think the left guy could be a member of the Sarutobi clan, since he seems to wear the same clothes as young Hiruzen. His skin color also matches Hiruzen's, and who knows, he could even be the son of the third Hokage. We know that Hiruzen had two children, one was Asuma, and the other one was the parent of Konohamaru. In the Naruto manga, we never heard of them. However, according to Boruto One-Shot, Konohamaru's parents were elite Jonin and part of the Anbu, and were called Arms of the Third Hokage. That is the only reference to his parents, and they were never mentioned elsewhere. Being an elite Jonin and arm of the Third Hokage means that Konohamaru's father was a very strong ninja, which would make sense since he was the member of Team Jiraiya. However, I'm not sure about the middle guy, since his clothing and appearance doesn't really remind me of anyone we've seen so far. The only thing could be his scarf, I guess, which is similar to the one worn by Kakashi Hatake as a kid, but I don't think these two are related only because they share a similar scarf. Another theory I have on this guy is that he could be from the Hyuga clan, since in Kushina's flashback where he appeared, we can see that his forehead was covered with bandages, similar to Neji, in order to cover their Hyuga seal. However, his eyes seem to be too dark to be considered as Byakugan. But who knows, maybe he's only half Hyuga, and just like Himawari, his Byakugan only appears when he activates them. But despite being only half Hyuga, the main family still put a seal on his forehead, and that's why he constantly covers it. In any case, it seems the members of this team were important to the Hidden Leaf, otherwise they wouldn't appear in Hiruzen's flashback. It would simply show Minato only with Jiraiya, just like how only Anko was shown with Orochimaru, despite there being other members in Team Orochimaru. We know that in Naruto there is some kind of pattern between Hokage teams. For example, Hiruzen was a student of two Hokage, Hashirama and Tobirama. His students were Orochimaru, Tsunade, the future Hokage, and Jiraiya, mentor of two Hokage. Minato, who was a disciple of Jiraiya, was also a teacher of future Hokage Kakashi, who was himself the teacher of a future Hokage too. We can see that there is definitely a pattern here. And another thing that all these teams have in common is a bell test. We don't know if Team Tobirama or Team Jiraiya used it, but I am sure that, just like his master during their first training, Jiraiya also used it to test the teamwork and skills of his team. And from him, Minato learned this technique and later used it on his team too. I think this mission was the very first time Minato impressed Jiraiya. Due to him having extraordinary speed and skills, I imagine it would be very hard for Jiraiya to defend the bells from him. Anyway, I guess this is all for today. What do you think about Team Jiraiya? How strong were its members? Let me know in the comments, like this video, and subscribe to the channel for more. Astrojack out. Bye.